it's me, your buddy Dave, the host of the Dark Stuff channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. As always, it is much appreciated. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a couple of shows that I have seen over the last month and a half or so. I'm labeling it June and July, and that's pretty much when it is. Nothing after about mid-July. So I want to start off actually with a show that was just the other night. It's freshest in my mind naturally, and that's John Garcia. Now, John Garcia, you might not just know him off from his name. He was the former lead singer of the band ex-Kyuss. You might remember them. They were a great sort of slow metal band, stoner metal maybe, from the 90s. And the band is maybe best known because Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age was also a member of that band. He played guitar. He's also been in, John Garcia has also been in, besides ex-Kyuss, Slow Burn, Unida, and Hermano. Not familiar with any of those other groups, though. I only really know him from ex-Kyuss and TBH. I'm only a moderate ex-Kyuss fan. I was invited to the show from the guys in the band Violenteer. It's a local band that I've covered a couple of times on the channel. Thank you guys, by the way, for getting me the ticket. And I was interested in John Garcia, but I hadn't fully committed. And then they were like, well, we're opening the show. Do you want a ticket? So it's like, I'm in. Started off with a great set from Violenteer. Okay, I've seen them probably 4 times at this point, maybe 5, I'm not sure. But this particular night, they were on point. I mean, it was great. It was probably the best set that I've seen them do. Now, they do have a new drummer, and that is Nathan Wolf, who is in a couple of other bands. He's in the band Pagan Athletes. He's in Titus Groaners. I've covered both of them here on the channel. And now he is a member of Violenteer. So it was a great performance. Probably sounded the best. I've heard him in that big room of the Slowdown. It was in the main room. And yeah, another excellent set. I think that the new drummer is an absolutely great addition. And looking forward to more. They were heading somewhere, Kansas City, I think, to record for a new record. So, you know, onward and upward. Okay, and then the second band that played that night was a group called Telekinetic Yeti. So Telekinetic Yeti is a 2-piece noise heavy band from Iowa. Now, I know Iowa's a state, not a city. I want to say it's like Davenport or the Quad Cities or somewhere up in that area. And this is information I got from some rando drunk dude that I was talking to at the show. But anyways, I think it's reliable information that they are from Iowa. They were incredible. I loved them. I had no idea who they were. I'd never heard them before. They did kind of remind me of a band called Knife World. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They had a record out on Roratorio. The cover is 3D. And they were 2-piece, fuzz, noise, you know, heaviness. It was really good. These guys are also really good. Totally dug the set. Telekinetic Yeti, cool band. Last up, of course, was Garcia, and he was really good. But again, I didn't know most of the tunes, if I'm being totally candid. Just like I didn't really know Telekinetic Yeti, I didn't really know that much John Garcia. I know my one ex-Kyuss album that I have, and occasional, you know, some extra songs that I might have heard over the years. But I wasn't super familiar, so I was just kind of going to say that I saw the guy from ex-Kyuss. And I did. I saw the guy from Kyuss. He sounded good. His band was cool. Maybe those guys are notable in some way, like they're in other bands. I just am not super familiar with it. But bottom line is I'm glad that I saw it. And there are a lot of rumors going around that Kyuss may be reforming. Maybe. Has a lot to do with Josh Homme has usually just kind of dismissed it when asked. You know, he's like, oh, yeah, huh, whatever, and just moves on. This time he's actually entertaining it. He's not just dismissing it out of hand. So maybe it's happening. Up was the Fishbone show that I saw at the waiting room. Now, I've already done a full video on this, but the reason I'm bringing it up again is because, number one, I'm still vibing off of that show, but number two, the band Fishbone shared my post on their Facebook page and said, like, this is exactly the reason why we're back and why we're doing this, and this is exactly what he was hoping would be the reaction from people like me who hadn't seen Facebook or hadn't seen Fishbone in like 30 years. So again, I was just on the moon. I was just happy that they liked it, you know, but to say that this is exactly the reaction they were hoping for. Again, I would say watch that whole video because it's a good video, my Fishbone one, but it was great, a great set, lots of classics, lots of stuff off their new album, Stockholm Syndrome. So again, thank you Fishbone for sharing, much appreciated. About a week and a half before the Fishbone show, I was able to catch Zepparella for the second time. Now, I did another dedicated video to that Zepparella show because it was so great. There was one detail that I forgot to convey in that video that made it, when I watched it back, a little bit confusing. So if you watch the video, the second half of the video, I'm telling a story about this really obnoxious woman who was pushing me around and got to a point where, like, I had to leave because she was annoying me so badly. What happened was, what I forgot was, I got in her husband or boyfriend's face, yelled at him, and told him to control that woman before she gets her ass thrown out. Then when I walked outside and he followed me outside, that's why there was sort of a fear in me of this guy's coming out to do something. But when he didn't even acknowledge me or didn't even recognize me, it's like he hadn't heard what I said in the club because the music was so loud, and he really didn't take into account what I did. So that was the tiny little detail that I forgot to mention, that I did get in the guy's face, and that's why I was nervous when he walked outside after me. Okay, just clearing that up, okay? As far as Zepparella goes, amazing. I think in my last Rock of Aging video, I was talking about them and saying that they're the best tribute band that I've seen. I mean, the only one that I've wanted to go to more than once. On June 13th, I caught the band Head of Femur. Now, I've covered them on the show. The band is led by a guy named Matt Foch. I did a full interview episode with him a couple years ago. He's been in a number of bands, including Bright Eyes, good guy, and a friend of mine, and it was his 50th birthday. So that was the initial idea behind the show, but then they also had a couple other bands. They had two bands opening, one called Heavy Clippings and then another called Minne, and they were both really, really good. First Heavy Clippings comes on, and I had no idea who they were. Never heard of them, never heard the name or whatever. I heard the main guy was supposedly in another band or two, but I really just had no idea. After watching their set, it was amazing. I mean, it was really, really good. It's been a month, so it's hard for me to remember specifically what they sound like. But I walked up to the main guy and I was like, yeah, man, that set was excellent. Can I buy one of your records? And he's like, well, we don't really have any physical product. It's just online. It's just on the streamers. So Heavy Clippings does have a record out called, let's see here, Dog and Bird in Grass. And it's got a little illustration of a dog on the front. Since it's free and it doesn't cost you anything, how about you download it and give it a listen, because it was really, really good. And I wish they had something physical, but they just didn't. Next band up, Minne, I think is how you pronounce it, Minne Lusa. Anyways, are a great band from here in Omaha also. They are kind of a sort of shoegaze band that plays almost entirely in the dark, and they dress up like cowboys. Okay, so if you're looking for that Midwestern shoegaze band that dresses like cowboys and plays in the dark, Minne Lusa is the band for you. This is maybe the second or third time that I've seen them. This was an exceptionally good set for them. Really, really dug it. Okay, and then last up was Head of Femur. I've seen them a bunch of times. I've covered them here on the channel. They are working on new music, and because they had a single about 2 years ago, they had an album maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But besides that, it's been a little bit since they've done any new music. Okay, this night the band was a 5-piece version. I've seen them with different kind of layouts. There's like 3 core guys, I want to say. There's Matt and 2 other guys, and apologies to the 2 other guys because I don't know your names, and I could have looked them up, but I didn't go grab the CDs from the back to try to find it. Apologies. This is one of their more fun sets. Always enjoyed it. Looking forward to hearing the new music. So I'm hoping that when that record comes out, I'll be doing a review on that and maybe another interview with Matt or perhaps with the band. We'll have to see. Probably best that I sell my handgun. Never thought I'd be back in this ghost town. Walking on the cold ground. These memories will send me to my grave like a new song hung up on the... The last show I'm going to talk about is a sort of country-ish artist named Clayton Ryan, who is from the Twin Cities, who played at the Reverb in Omaha. So because I've been doing this YouTube channel for a number of years, and plus I've been on the radio for 20 years, I am on the sort of media list for a lot of venues in this town. And what all that means is that in some cases, there will be publicists and record labels and whatnot reaching out to these venues and saying, who are the right media contacts? Who should I talk to? So I'm on some of those lists, not every list, but some of those lists. And I apparently was on the list that was given to Clayton Ryan's management, and they contacted me. They reached out. They said, would you be interested in coming and checking out the band? So I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't have anything else going on that Sunday night. Sure, I'll cover the band, and maybe they're really good. They're from the Twin Cities. They're supposedly alt country. So I replied back, yeah, I'd love to go. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for the ticket, whatever. And then they said, would you want to maybe go out to dinner with Clayton that night? And I passed on that because I did have something else going on, but also I don't know, I'm socially awkward and I wasn't really prepared for that. So I said no. Well, a couple days go by and I get to the show. It's Sunday night and I head over to Reverb and I walk up to the door, and my name was not left on their guest list. No ticket, no guest list, no nothing. They had nothing. And this was the band invited me to this show. Now, in a lot of circumstances, I'd have been so pissed off because I would have had to leave and go home and be like, I just wasted all this time. Okay, but in this instance, I did know the people at this club. I knew the manager and I knew the door person, and they let me come in. I told them what had happened. They double checked. My name was not listed anywhere. Now, I didn't ask them to go get the manager and bring him up here and like let me talk. I mean, I was like, you forgot. You didn't do it. I'm going to stay for as much of the show as I feel like it, but I no longer feel obligated to really cover the show. I watched the opener, whose name was Molly Brandt. Or there were two openers, Grace Titus, who I missed, and someone named Molly Brandt. And she was really good. She was real traditional country. I enjoyed her set. It was cool. It's not my normal thing, but I was like, okay, whatever. I watched her. It was good. And then Clayton Ryan comes on with his band. And granted, my view might be a little tainted by the fact that they blew me off after inviting me there, but I really didn't care much for it. It was country and it was all right, but it was very like showy. Like they were putting on a show and they were like talking to each other in this coordinated way. The band were all very talented, great players. That Clayton Ryan obviously has talent and will probably become a major country star. All I know, right? But I do say, like, I tried to get past the fact that you blew me off, but I had a little bit of an issue with it. I stayed for about half the show and then I left because, again, I didn't feel any obligation to stick around and try and say hi afterwards because I was semi-annoyed. Now, maybe that would have been the better thing to have done and just had the manager go get the guy. But you know what? I just didn't want to. Like, I shouldn't have to jump through hoops. Anyways, that's all this week, okay? If I keep going with this, it's just going to agitate me and then I'll probably say something stupid. So, anyways, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. This has been The Dark Stuff.